So this is the final part of the assignment, improving the performance of the work team. And so there's two final parts to this piece. 3.1 is outline a recognised theory of motivation. So I would suggest, we looked at the 3 or 4 different theories of motivation very gently, but the one that we looked at in most detail was Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So I would describe each of those levels of that theory, of that triangle, in detail. So what does this actually mean? And we did that, and we provided some examples. We thought about some of our own examples from our own business. So what does each of those levels mean? You could even look at the different categories, the physiological needs, the psychological needs, and then the self-actualization at the top. And then you can take each of the layers in detail and then explain the examples against those layers. You can put the model into the bulk of your assignment, or also put it into the appendix at the back. So 3.2 is kind of the most complex assessment criteria in this whole assignment, and it's worth 20 marks, so worth looking at. And what I would suggest is, because it's so detailed, it would be good really to divide that up into many sections or subsections within that assessment criteria. So the first thing to do is to identify appropriate actions to motivate own team. So that I would do that first, identify various actions that could be taken. And then I would link those actions to the theory of motivation. So again, I would just use Maslow. Why wouldn't you? We've already looked at it in detail. So linking the potential actions into Maslow. So for example, self-actualization, you could link that into somebody doing some work shadowing, or some kind of program of learning which actually helps them move on to the next level or transfers into other roles or something like that. So that would be one way of doing that. Then the second part of kind of the assessment criteria is identifying how the actions and why the actions relate to the authority levels to address the performance. So and this is back to that first assignment. We did the very first one around what is in and outside the scope of your authority as a team leader. Okay, so how the actions would relate to the authority levels and why. So another example would be the learning and development piece. So if somebody wanted to do a qualification around leadership and management that was outside their role, but you know that it would support them, would the business support that financially? Would that be within your scope, or at a higher level? And if it was at a higher level, why? Budgets, so that would be a very simple explanation of that. So what is the action? How does it relate to the theory? And then what authority level would that action be linked into? And then the final piece is identifying and clarifying how and why that action would rectify the underperformance of an individual. So how would ensuring that people take breaks when they should, how would ensuring that people feel that they've been communicated well and that they really belong to the team, how would that help to rectify the underperformance, and why would it? So for example, like ensuring that some certain person is kept in the loop in terms of communication because they're underperforming in a certain area. Well, that would ensure that they're fully aware and are clear on what they would need to be focusing on. And the why behind that is because when they have clarity, then they have objectives on something and a framework to strive for. So the how and the why and behind that as well. Okay, so there's quite a bit of detail in those 3 parts of that just one assessment criteria. So important to make sure that you cover all the parts of that. Okay.